The numbers are right. Everything reconciled. Nothing is missing. There's more data than ever, and less room to think. So, what do we actually do next? That's the moment you realize the math was almost helpful.
Hey, it's Cashflow Mike, and welcome back to the Clear Path to Cash. This is the podcast where you learn about almost everything Clear Path to Cash. Right now, I want to talk about the number one thing that advisors notice every March, right? If you're an accountant or bookkeeper or advisor, then March is when you're going to be buried in the numbers. But here's what I've learned after working with thousands of advisors now, that the busy season isn't just compliance season. It's actually the best diagnostic window of the entire year because you have everything in front of you, and most advisors miss it. So right now you're probably really deep in your clients' financials, and at almost any other time, you're deeper today than any other time in the year because you're cleaning up their books and you're returning their, or they're reviewing the returns, you're reconciling accounts. And if you've been doing this long enough, you're going to know this feeling, right? The numbers are going to look fine at some point in time, but something's just not going to quite add up. And maybe it's the margins. Maybe they feel tight, and maybe it's just that the cash is off, or maybe debt feels heavier than it should. You can feel it, but during busy season, what happens? We move on to the next return. We just file it, know that something's not quite right. I'll talk to them about it later, and then we move on. Well, this is the moment that I want to call the financial doctor moment. It's not a person, it's a technique. Because great advisors, they're not just going to prepare the reports. They're going to diagnose what the numbers are really trying to say. And March gives you more signal than almost any other month. Why? Because you're seeing the full year performance of last year. You're going to see how the balance sheet may have shifted, any cash patterns that are starting to emerge, and any other trends that are moving all at once. This is diagnostic gold, but only if you know where to look. So most advisors, though, and no fault of their own, they're going to stay in historian mode all during the busy season. What happened last year? They're going to make sure the reports are accurate and that the return gets filed on time or their extension gets filed. And they're going to make sure that everything is compliant. Don't get me wrong, it's all important work. But there's a gap. Clean books don't automatically create clarity. Your clients can have just the absolute perfectly clean financial statements and still be headed towards a cash crunch, a margin squeeze, or a debt problem. So this is exactly why we built the Clear Path to Cash system. It's because advisors needed a way to quickly answer, what's happening here? Where's the pressure building? What should I be watching? So inside my home run financial system, for example, we're going to look at just 6 key calculations, not 50, just 6. And in under 7 minutes, you can usually see, the story start to emerge. Think about that. 7 minutes, 6 calculations, see it emerge. And that's the difference between just reporting the numbers and diagnosing the business. So here's my challenge to you this week. So if you're working through some returns, don't just ask, hey, are these numbers correct? I want you to also ask, what story are these numbers trying to tell me? Because March is showing you more than you think. If you slow down just enough to see it, it's going to be glaring. It's going to be firing off like a siren, like a signal, And if you'd like to see how we do this step by step, I put together this interactive demo of a Clear Path to Cash advisor platform. This is where you can walk through in just a few minutes and see exactly how the financial doctor approach works. You can see the home run financial system in action. You can grab the demo in the link below. Just go right to the link, grab the demo. And so if you're thinking ahead to after April 15th, we're going to be going much deeper at the Clear Path to Cash app bootcamp, right? So don't forget about that boot camp in May, but there's going to be more on that soon. But for now, while you're in the numbers, don't miss a story. And that feeling, we know it. And the Clear Path to Cash was built for that moment.
The numbers are right. Everything reconcile. Nothing is missing. There's more data than ever, and less room to think. So, what do we actually do next? That's the moment you realize the math was almost helpful.